Predaking Origin Transformer. Hi, this is Simon Canish and welcome to another Marvelous Videos. In this video, we'll be discussing the mighty Predaking, a Transformer like no other. Predaking is a legendary character in the world of Transformers, renowned for his incredible strength and fearsome reputation. Standing at an imposing height, Predaking is a sight to behold. This mighty warrior is not just any ordinary Transformer, but a combiner made up of 5 separate Transformers, each with its own unique abilities and weapons. In this video, we'll delve into the history of Predaking and explore the unique traits that make him one of the most fearsome warriors in the Transformers universe. From his combiner ability to his formidable arsenal, we'll take a deep dive into everything that makes Predaking the ultimate force to be reckoned with. So get ready to be wowed by the might of Predaking. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. Predaking Origins. Predaking is a formidable Transformer made up of 5 separate components: the Predacons, Group Leader, Razorclaw, Tantrum, Rampage, Headstrong, and Dive Bomb. This towering warrior stands at an impressive 200 meters. His dragon-like appearance and razor-sharp claws make him a fearsome sight. Unlike other combiners, the merging of consciousness between the Predacons results in a single self that is united in its passion for the hunt. Predaking's formidable physical strength, exceptional intelligence, and animalistic hunting instincts make him a formidable weapon in the Decepticon army. He can lift a massive 1,000,000 tons with ease, and his unmatched fighting skills make him a great threat for enemies. When Predaking sets his sights on a target, there is little hope for its survival. He is a true terror, feared by all who cross his path. This powerful Transformer represents the ultimate fusion of might, intellect, and animalistic instincts. The mighty Decepticon made a very notable appearance in the Generation 1 cartoon continuity. He was voiced by Bud Davis in the USA, Tomomichi Nishimura in Japan, and Edgar Fruitier in French Canada. Predaking was part of a short-lived alliance between the Decepticons and the Quintessence. He was introduced when the Predacons, unable to stop Blur and the other Autobots from leaving Io, combined to form Predaking in an attempt to stop them. Although the Predacons failed, Predaking's physical strength, cunning, and animalistic hunting instincts made him a valuable weapon for the Decepticons. The Decepticons took control of the slave mine world of Dread, using captive slaves to extract Death Stones for their attack on Cybertron. Predaking was used to capture slaves who attempted to escape. During an Autobot attack on the mine, he separated Blur and other Autobots from Coop and drove them towards Skylinks. However, Coop was able to trigger an avalanche that buried Predaking beneath tons of rock. Later, Predaking found himself battling the Terracon combiner Abominus in the Earth's moon. They were both summoned by Primacon's assistant to an old world, where they expected to destroy Primacon's latest creation, the energy-draining Tornadron. When Trypticon's defeated body appeared, the Predacons initially fled, but eventually decided to stand and fight. They merged to form Predaking, but were immediately put under a status lock by Tornadron. Predaking and Devastator chased broadside into the Sea of Japan in a sequence of Decepticon raids on Japan. Throughout this appearance, Predaking has demonstrated that he is a formidable force on any battlefield and a powerful weapon in the Decepticon army. With his immense strength, intelligence, and hunting instincts, Predaking is a force to be reckoned with in any fight against the Autobots. Predaking in the Headmasters cartoon. In the Headmasters cartoon continuity, Predaking faced numerous battles with the Autobots, most notably Raiden and the Headmasters. Hot Rod once prevented the Predacons from combining into Predaking, but Predaking later managed to join forces with Scourge and Cyclonus to seize the Sol 1 satellite, where he was defeated by Raiden and the Headmasters. Predaking faced off against the Headmasters in Peru and on Mars, only to be beaten both times. He accompanied the Decepticons on an intergalactic journey to collect energy, where he faced Raiden in the Twin Star worlds. Predaking also faced off against Computron on Paradise and Abominus in Kamchatka on Earth, where he faced Raiden once again. Predaking caused destruction as he sank the Queen World ocean liner along with Bruticus. He later defeated a Death Tower at Santiago, Chile against Throttlebots, but was defeated by Point Blank from the Autobot target marker Headmasters with one shot. In a final epic fight in the North Pole, Predaking faced the Autobots, but his confrontation with Raiden was disrupted by Scorponok launching Fortress Maximus. The Decepticons, including Predaking, eventually left Earth after the Autobots successfully thwarted their plans with their head formation. Predaking in Transformers Prime. In the Transformers Prime continuity, Predaking was voiced by Peter Mensah. He was a clone of the original Predacon, sharing his name, looks and position with the Predacon leader. Shockwave successfully reconstructed one of the giant creatures after recovering Predacon's CNA and preserving it in his lab. He activated the monstrosity and sent it to Earth to destroy Autobots. It was dispatched after Shockwave smelled Wheeljack's Energon and soon spotted its quarry amid an Energon mine. Wheeljack and Bulkhead battled the monster, first attempting to cause it to explode with a grenade and then leading it through an explosive-laden trap to destroy it. The creature triumphed, only to have Ultra Magnus come on his spaceship and shoot at it. It clung to the roof of the spaceship until Magnus tried to break it off by passing through a gorge. The Predacon went to Megatron's fortress, where Starscream lamented that it couldn't explain to them why it had failed. The Predacon reacted by snarling softly and aggressively. When Darkmount was attacked, the Predacon was summoned to battle the Autobots. It started after Ultra Magnus's ship, but was duped into sailing through a ground bridge into the Arctic, where it quickly froze. After some time, the warmth in the Arctic climbed sufficiently to enable the Predacon to escape. Megatron decided to entrust it to Starscream, as Shockwave resumed work on cloning additional Predacons. After numerous amusing efforts to coerce the beast, Starscream was commanded to unleash it on the Autobots, who were now invading one of their dig sites. After batting away Wheeljack's grenade, the Predacon assaulted Bulkhead, Ultra Magnus, and Wheeljack, finally creating a cave-in. The cave-in uncovered a Predacon optic, the appearance of which reawakened the beast's memories. It focused on Starscream before fighting Miko Nakadai, who somehow had obtained the Apex armor. When the Predacon overheard Megatron's order that the bone piece be given to him, he obeyed and left the remainder to Starscream. The Predacon reacted to Starscream's strict instructions with the stroke of his tail that grazed the Decepticon but completely destroyed the ship's comms array. Starscream furiously attempted to repair it, finally rebooting the network by inserting an override access token into a computer panel when back on the Nemesis. When the Predacon was alone, it inserted Starscream's access token into the system. It began looking for details of the origins and presence of Predacons. The Predacon displayed his knowledge and ability to adapt to other Cybertronians during a visit to Shockwave's off-site facility. He volunteered to command the Predacons in Megatron's stead as Predaking. However, Megatron was apprehensive of handling someone else's command of a force more formidable than his own. On Starscream's guidance, he planned for the clones to be killed by using the Autobots, uncovering the facilities as a ruse. After the clones were destroyed, Predaking fell for the trick, attacking Ultra Magnus and Wheeljack. He crippled both and damaged Solus Prime's forge, but Optimus Prime prevented him from dealing the last blow. Predaking remained certain that once Cybertron had been rebuilt, Megatron would resuscitate the remainder of the Predacon species. Predaking was sent to Antarctica to confront the Autobots while the Decepticons labored to restore the Omega Lock. He fought Optimus Prime for a long time, and despite nearly buried in a glacier at one stage, he eventually defeated the Autobot commander and sent Prime tumbling into the dirt. He was halted from destroying Optimus when Megatron told him that he needed to recover Shockwave and a device from the Solaris Particles Collider facility in order to keep the goal of the Decepticon objectives secure. Back aboard the Nemesis, he discovered that the Decepticons had kidnapped Ratchet, who Megatron vowed as he would kill once the Autobots' utility had expired. Predaking was given Ratchet as a toy, just as Megatron had promised. Predaking, on the other hand, went on a massacre through the ship as the Autobot disclosed that Megatron had planned for the Autobots to uncover Shockwave's facility. After annihilating every Vacon in his wake, the Predacon confronted Megatron and nearly defeated him. Starscream's rocket to the back jolted him such that Megatron was capable of blasting him from an airlock. Predaking clung to the battleship's hull and stayed unseen until the vessel arrived on Cybertron and repaired the planet. conflict. Predaking transformed and soared away after seeing the resurrection of the world. He discovered a Predacon burial place that had been exposed by the planet's rebirth process. The Autobots discovered him there and tried to persuade him to assist them in finding 2 additional Predacons they'd encountered, though Predaking declined because he couldn't trust them for their involvement in the annihilation of his species. He embarked on his own hunt. Eventually, he discovered proof that the Autobots had really been speaking the truth. His signal, intended to draw the 2 Predacons, instead attracted Unicron, who was now in Megatron's form. Unicron beat him, stealing the whereabouts of the burial site from his consciousness, and when Predaking returned, he discovered that Unicron had vandalized the spot, much to his horror. Asserting his authority over Skylynx and Dark Steel, he joined them in an effort to aid the Autobots in their struggle against Unicron's army of undead Predacons. They were effective in slowing down the Horde just enough so that Optimus Prime could kill Unicron, resulting in the Terracons disintegrating. The 3 later hunted down Starscream with the intention of exacting vengeance. Predaking's amazing storyline in comic series. In the Marvel's comics continuity, Predaking played a crucial role in Shockwave's plan to overthrow Megatron as leader of the Decepticons. Shockwave provided false Autobot signals to the Predacons, who were then tasked with attacking Megatron while he was suffering from amnesia in the Florida swamps. Despite merging into Predaking, the Predacons were unable to defeat Megatron, who ultimately regained his memories and regained control of the Decepticons. The Predacons, now under the command of Shockwave, continued to wreak havoc on Earth, facing off against the Autobots and causing chaos wherever they went. Predaking's incredible strength and cunning made him a formidable opponent for the Autobots, but in the end, the Decepticon leader Megatron proved to be too much for him to handle. Despite being one of the most powerful weapons in the Decepticon arsenal, Predaking ultimately fell to Megatron's superior strength and cunning, marking a significant turning point in the ongoing conflict between the Autobots and Decepticons. In the Marvel UK comics continuity, Predaking was introduced as part of the Predacons' mission to track down the Autobot leader Optimus Prime. Predaking was successful in wearing down Prime, leaving him vulnerable to an attack from Megatron. Despite Prime's efforts to counter their initial assaults, the Predacons persisted and eventually merged into Predaking to further their pursuit. Ultimately, the Predacons returned to Cybertron through the space bridge after the successful capture of Prime. Predaking's brute strength and prowess in battle made him a formidable force in the Decepticon army, making him a key player in their efforts to defeat the Autobots and conquer Earth. In the Dreamwave comics continuity, Predaking was formed as a result of Megatron's successful recruitment of the Predacons. The Predacons were once Cybertronians, but their higher functions degraded over time, and they became feral. Exiled onto Beast, they lived in a wild until Megatron found them and converted them into combiners. Predaking was the end result of this process. In his first appearance on Earth, Predaking was on the hunt for treacherous Decepticon Air Commander Starscream. The Combaticons, who were in training with Skylynx as their target, transformed into Bruticus and attacked. Predaking quickly defeated Bruticus by shooting one of his leg cannons into the combiner's skull, causing a portion of his face to be severed. Despite Bruticus' attack, Predaking was forced to retreat. Predaking continued to pursue Starscream, frustrated with Bruticus' defeat. However, Bruticus fought back and broke one of Predaking's wings, causing him to crash onto an island. Despite being injured, Predaking was not defeated and easily dodged Bruticus' attack. He created a defensive energy shield to protect himself from further fire. He fought back, punching Bruticus in the mouth and impaling him on a Headstrong's horn, effectively deactivating the Combaticons. This marked Predaking's first victory in a battle, even though it was against another Decepticon. It was still a significant accomplishment. In the G.I. Joe vs. the Transformers continuity, the Predacons and Seacons engaged in a territorial dispute that led to a battle between Predaking and Tyrannicon. Predaking emerged as the victor, but was stopped by Serpent OR from finishing off the aquatic combiner. Serpent OR then recruited the Predacons into his new Decepticon army and was persuaded aided by G.I. Joe and the Autobots, Predaking defended Serpent OR by attacking Bumblebee, leaving him unconscious. The Decepticons ambushed an Autobot settlement ceremony in which Predaking, Predaking, and Menasor assassinated Omega Supreme. Predaking then spent the remainder of the conflict hunting down individuals. In the IDW Robots in Disguise comics continuity, Predaking returned to Earth and made his presence known by carrying Starscream's severed arm. When Optimus Prime and Windblade found him in a cave in the Sierra Vistas, Predaking simply left, leaving behind Starscream's limb as evidence of his visit. This unexpected arrival caused concern and sparked investigations among the Autobots, making it clear that Predaking was not to be underestimated.
Predaking?
Marvelous appearance of Predaking in other media. Predaking overcame Shockwave in the online game Hunt the Beasts, and he sought to contact Megatron to alert him that the Predacon creations had gotten free and were coming for Earth. Predaking's destructive capability was tested in the Transformers Prime Portal of Destruction video game through a series of simulations. In the simulations, Predaking would wreak havoc on human metropolis, demolishing both skyscrapers and military vehicles that tried to stop him. When Shockwave left his technology unattended in the Transformers Prime Beast Creator video game, you could utilize it to make your own monster Predacon. The cloning machine had access to Predaking's CNA, leading in Predacons that match individual components with him. Predaking is a super warrior in the Transformers Earth Wars video game, the savage merger of the first 5 Predacons before the Beast Wars. Marvelous verdict. In conclusion, Predaking is a powerful and fearsome character in the Transformers universe. He has appeared in different continuities and has made a lasting impact in each one, whether as a fierce warrior hunting down his enemies or as a formidable opponent in combat. Predaking has proven himself to be a force to be reckoned with. He has had battles with both Autobots and Decepticons, and his strength and combiner ability have made him a formidable opponent for all those who have crossed his path. Predaking is an essential character in the Transformers universe, and his legacy will continue to live on for generations to come. And if you liked our content, well, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.